All right, O-levels are just around the corner, right? And if those social studies SRQs feel like a total puzzle, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down how you can absolutely nail these questions and get top marks. Let's get right into it.
So, does this sound familiar? You've spent weeks, maybe months, studying. You know your content inside and out. Governance, international relations, you've got it. But then you get your paper back, and the marks, they just don't reflect the work you put in. It's super frustrating, I know, but trust me, you're not alone.
But here's the thing. Here's the secret. Getting those top marks in social studies isn't just about what you know. It's all about how you write your answer. You see, there's kind of this hidden rule book, a code, that the examiners use. And today, we are going to crack that code together.
So what is the secret code I'm talking about? Well, it's the system behind how every single SRQ is marked. And once you get it, once you really understand it, you'll know exactly what you need to write to get the marks you actually deserve.
It's called LORMS. That stands for Levels of Response Marking Scheme. Now I know that sounds super official and maybe a little intimidating, but don't worry. Think of it less like a scary rulebook and more like a roadmap. It literally shows you the exact path to a perfect score.
The best way to think about LORMS is like a ladder, okay? So at the very bottom, on step 1, that's level 1. You're just doing some basic description, not going to get you many marks. Then you climb up to step 2, level 2. Here you're identifying points, and that'll get you a pass. But the real points, the high marks, that's at level 3, where you start explaining. And for the biggest questions, you want to climb all the way to the top, level 4, where you make a final judgment. Every step up that ladder is a huge jump in your final score. Okay, so let's start our climb with the 7-mark question 6. This one is all about reaching that absolutely crucial level 3 on the LORM's ladder. So here's a pretty typical question 6. It asks for 2 ways the government engages with people. But look closely. The most important part is where it says to explain your answer. See that word? Explain? That is your golden ticket right there. That's how you unlock the high marks.
Just look at the difference here. A level 2 answer just identifies a way. It says something like, the government uses digital platforms like OneSG. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's kind of flat, right? Now look at the level 3 answer. It goes so much deeper. It explains why OneSG is important. It talks about enhancing accessibility, building trust, creating transparency. It answers the so what question.
So the main takeaway here, and it's super simple. To get into that top tier 5 to 7 mark bracket for question 6, you have to explain. Don't just list a point, you've got to show the impact, the purpose, or the consequence of that point. And check this out. This sentence right here, taken straight from the marking scheme, is pure gold. It's a perfect example of what a top-tier explanation looks like. It connects the point about engagement all the way to a bigger outcome. It creates citizens who actually advocate for better governance. That is a level 3 explanation. All right, you've conquered Q6. But now, it's time for the final boss, the 8-mark question 7. This is where we make that final climb to the very, very top of the LORMS ladder. We are aiming for level 4.
So, here's the challenge for Q7. It's not just asking you to explain a couple of things. It's asking you to decide which one is more effective. You have to weigh them against each other, you have to compare them, and you have to make a final judgment call.
This question sets up a classic debate, really. In one corner, you've got diplomacy, building friendships, making partnerships, talking things out. And in the other corner, you have deterrence, having a strong military, a strong SAF, to make any potential aggressors think twice. To answer this well, you have to argue for both sides first. So first, you build the case for diplomacy. You'd explain how it secures Singapore's spot on the global stage, how it helps us maintain friendly ties with big, powerful countries, and lets us shape what's happening in the world, but peacefully. That right there, that's the first half of a fantastic answer. Next up, you argue the other side of the coin. You explain that having a strong SAF and total defense is absolutely essential. This military strength doesn't just keep us safe. It also tells our partners that we're stable, and it gives our diplomatic words some real weight. Now you've explained both sides, and boom, you are sitting comfortably in the level 3 zone with a solid 6 or 7 marks. So how do you get that final top-tier mark? How do you hit level 4 and score that 8 out of 8? Well, you have to do one more thing. After you've explained both sides, you have to state which one you think is more important, and you have to explain why. You need to evaluate. And this is the money shot. This single sentence is a perfect example of a level 4 evaluation.
It doesn't just pick one over the other. No, it shows the really smart, sophisticated relationship between them. It argues that, yeah, diplomacy leads the way, but it's completely useless without the strength of deterrence backing it up. This shows the examiner that you're thinking at the highest possible level.
Okay, we've gone through it all. We've cracked the code, we've climbed the ladder. So now let's put it all together into a really simple, powerful formula that you can take with you right into the exam.
Here it is, your SRQ cheat sheet. For question 6, the magic word is explain. Identify your point, describe it a little, and then, most importantly, explain its impact. For question 7, the magic word is judgment. Explain both sides of the argument and then make a final, well-reasoned judgment on which is more important and why.
So you see, LORMS isn't some scary, secret thing designed to trick you. It's your roadmap to success. Now that you know the formula, now that you know how to climb that ladder, you have everything you need to walk into that exam and get the marks you've worked so hard for. The code is cracked. The only question left is, are you ready to go score?